and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't posted in a month again. I feel like every time I start a video I always say the exact same thing, but stuff has been going on which I may say in this video, I may not, so it depends how this video actually turns out because I don't know how this video is going to turn out. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing okay as well as you can be. And yeah, so today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be doing another mental health Q&A. So over on my Instagram I have asked people to send me over some questions, so I'm able to do this Q&A for you guys. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to give you some okay-ish answers. Like, I'm not in the best headspace at the moment, so my answers might not be top-notch, if that makes sense, but I'll definitely give it a go as best I can. And yeah, so let's get on with the video. Can I just say I'm sorry I look a mess. I literally haven't bothered doing my makeup in like ages and I look a mess. But yeah, anyway, let's go on with the video. The first question is, when did you start struggling with your mental health? Well, to be honest, like, this fluctuates from time to time. Like, I first properly started struggling with my mental health when I was in college. So this was when I was about 16, I think I was 16, 17, something like that. Actually no, I think I was 16. And I struggled with my mental health then, but it was only minor, so it wasn't anything like drastic, like nothing really came to that, if that makes sense. But I first properly started struggling with my mental health at the end of 2017, and that was with my eating disorder, anorexia, which I know I have been diagnosed with anorexia, but I want to get that diagnosis taken away from me because I don't believe I have that anymore. And yes, at the time I was very, very bad with that eating disorder, anorexia, and you would definitely say that I did have anorexia back then, but now I don't believe I have anorexia because my eating is absolutely fine and I have no indications or anything that I do have anorexia, which is a good thing. But that was when I first started struggling with my mental health, and since the end of 2017 I have still been struggling majorly with my other mental illnesses. And yeah, so from 2017 up until now is when I've been really struggling with my mental health. So it's an ongoing issue which is still happening to this day. So yeah, that is when I first properly started struggling with my mental health. The next question is, did you have a childhood trauma for your attachments to develop? No, I've never really had any significant trauma that's happened in my life. I don't really know why I do suffer with attachment issues, because normally, like, if people have attachment issues, they have like people who, like, parents who leave their family when they're younger, and that could cause them to develop attachment issues, but I never had any of that. What I could say that could cause the attachment issues is I never felt like I could get along with any of my family, and that's why I used to always talk to other adults, like other people and like teachers, and that's why I probably used to get attached to other people, because I never used to be able to talk to my own family. Like, it's just the way I felt towards my family. It's nothing against them, but I never really had any significant trauma in my life which could cause the attachments. So I don't really know what could cause the attachments really, but I know I do suffer with attachment issues really badly, and I still haven't got to the root of why I do suffer with attachment issues. The next question is, what's been most helpful for you when you're struggling? Do you know what? I don't actually know what helps me anymore. Like making videos for you guys really helps me, because it's such a good distraction. And when I used to struggle with my mental health, like say like when I first started YouTube was the main focus of me, and that's what really helps me the most. But at the moment I think just like spending time with like my boyfriend and trying to go out and do things as much as possible to try and keep yourself distracted, that's mainly what's helped me when I'm struggling really at the moment and in the past. But yeah, I do really think that YouTube does help me the most when I am struggling, because it's such a good focus and it's a good distraction, because you're filming the video, so you're focused on the video, and then you've got to edit the video, so that takes time as well. But yeah, I do enjoy making videos, and I know I say this in every video, well, I don't know if I say this in every video, but I do need to get back into doing YouTube. I just haven't been very motivated the last month or so, and it's nothing against you guys because you've done nothing wrong, so don't take it personally, because it's just my mind. My mind is just very frazzled at the moment and I don't really know what to do. The next question is, are there any good things about having a mental illness? I don't really know, because I have like a recovery account on the Instagram community. I haven't actually shared that with you guys yet, so I don't know if I'm going to share my username. I might do, because it's quite personal to me, so, and it is my venting account, so it can be quite triggering for some people. But I think the good thing about having a mental illness is like you're relating to other people who've got mental illness when you're in the community on Instagram. So you're all there for one another and you can just make friends basically, and that's really nice because then you realise that you're not alone. I'm trying to think of another good thing about having a mental illness. I don't really know. I think just making friends really and realising that you're not alone, because I think when you have a mental illness, like, you do feel like really isolated, and knowing that you're not the only one struggling with the same with a mental illness makes you realise that you're not alone. The next question is, worst part about having a mental illness? I think the worst part is it just takes over your whole life. It literally ruins your whole life. Like, for some people, like, you can't do like daily tasks or simple tasks. Like, sometimes if you have anxiety, like, some people might not be able to leave the house. Some people who have OCD, they have like their rituals, so they've got to be like very careful with what they do. Each mental illness has different rules, if that makes sense, for that individual, because every illness like treats people differently, if that makes sense. But I just think the worst part for me about having a mental illness, it just stops you from doing simplest things. So like going out with friends, socialising, making plans with people. And sometimes it has an effect on me driving, because I don't really feel like driving and you just want to always isolate yourself. And also another worst part about having a mental illness is that you don't know what mood you're going to be in each day. So each day you wake up, you never know what the day is going to be like, because every day is just so unpredictable with mental illness, because you had your good and bad days with mental illness. The next question is, what could be improved in mental health services? If I'm being honest, like, I don't think it's like the professionals' fault, because I do think that it's mainly the NHS, and I think like it's the fact that it's so underfunded and understaffed. I think that is the main issue in mental health services. If they had better funding and more staffing, I think we would see like a slight improvement in mental health services. But because I don't think it's like the professionals' fault, like, I feel like they're doing everything they can to try and help their patients, and I don't think it's anything that they're doing wrong. I just think it's the way that the system is, and like, yeah, just that it's underfunded and understaffed. The next question is, what medication are you currently on? Okay, so I don't know if I've already said about my medication, but I'm currently on 5 milligrams of aripiprazole, which is an antipsychotic. I'm on 45 milligrams of mirtazapine, which is an antidepressant, and I am on 225 milligrams of venlafaxine, which is also an antidepressant, and I also take PRN diazepam as well. But yeah, I recently got my venlafaxine upped, so it was on 150 milligrams and now I'm on 225 milligrams, so yes, that's all the medication that I'm currently on. Okay, the next question is, Do you agree with the weight rule when being accepted in an eating disorder service? No, I do not agree with it, because an eating disorder isn't just about the weight. It's about like the mental, because it's a mental illness. It's about like what's going on in the head and in the mind, because obviously, yes, it's affecting your weight, and obviously it's very serious when you're losing more and more weight. But it's not just about the weight, it's about what's going on in your head at the end of the day, because after all, an eating disorder is a mental illness. So, because I know when I was with the eating disorder services like a few years ago, I kept on seeing my eating disorder therapist, and literally the first thing they did was weigh you. And I feel like they're just fixated on the weight. Like, if you're losing more and more weight, I feel like that's when they take you more seriously, because like you're losing more and more weight, and that's what they're fixated on. And I feel like they say to us that we're fixated on the numbers, but I feel like they're fixated on the numbers as well, because they're constantly worrying about what the weight is and not what's going on in our head. So I don't know. It just baffles me, you know. It baffles me, but I do not agree with the rule about the whole weight thing when getting accepted in the eating disorder services, because you can have anorexia and be a bit bigger than the normal anorexic size. Like, an eating disorder isn't about the weight, it's about what's going on in your mind, because it's a mental illness. So yeah. The next question is, why are only anxiety and depression taught in schools and not other mental illnesses? This is actually a question that I was a bit scared to answer, because I didn't actually know that anxiety and depression were taught in school. Like, that's something new to me. But I think it's because anxiety and depression are probably more common in people throughout life. But I do agree that they should be teaching about all mental illnesses, because that makes other mental illnesses not validated, if that makes sense. And yeah, and that's probably where the stigma starts, because if like they're missing some mental illnesses out, that's when some of the stigma will start to rise, because some mental illnesses are getting treated differently. I didn't actually know that they did teach anxiety and depression in school. That's very good that they do that, actually, because like when I was in school that never happened. Well, not from what I remember anyway, but it must be a new thing. But I think that's very good though that they do that, but I think they shouldn't really be missing other illnesses out, because every illness matters. And yes, it can be quite challenging teaching like children about psychosis and stuff like that, but this is the reality of living with mental illness. And if people want to get more of a knowledge of what's going on in someone's mind, then they need to treat each illness the same, if that makes sense. The next question is, the worst advice you've been given in a mental health crisis? Well, the funny thing is, I'm actually in a crisis at the moment, and that's why I haven't been filming for you guys, so it's nothing against you. And the advice that I keep getting told is, you've got to keep yourself distracted. And it drives me at the wall, because there's only so much distracting you can do from those negative thoughts. It's like the other day I had crisis come round to me, and they said for me to bake a cake. Yes, it can work for some people, don't get me wrong, but personally, like, I don't know how baking a cake will actually help someone like with suicidal thoughts. Another thing I've been told, which isn't helpful when I'm in a crisis, is go for a walk or have a bath, because I feel like that's quite dangerous, because if you tell someone to go for a walk and they've got suicidal thoughts, what if that person like goes and does something, like goes and hurts himself when they're outside? And that's the same if they go for a bath. Like, they could use like harmful objects whilst they're in the bath, so it just doesn't make sense. Like, I just feel like they're just trying to get like the easier options, if that makes sense. But yeah, some of the things that professionals have said to me when I'm in a crisis and to other people, I just think that literally that's just not helpful at all, and it just makes people worse. The next question is, are you recovering well? If not, what do you need to recover? No, I am not recovering well at all. As I just said in the last question, I am in a crisis at the moment, so I'm still very, very unstable with my mental health. I don't know what's going to happen, when or if anything's going to happen. I couldn't answer that for you guys, but I'm really struggling with my mental health at the moment. I'm very up and down with my mental health, like mainly down at the moment. There's not really many up days, but yeah, I just need to try and take one day at a time and just see where it goes. Like, I've got Crisis coming around this afternoon to see me, so yeah, just got to play it by ear really. And what do you need to recover? I need to recover like my low mood, my suicidal thoughts, my self-harm, and just stuff along them lines really. The next question is, do you have any favourite quotes that help you? I don't really have any favourite quotes, if I'm being honest. Oh god, I hate these sort of questions because I need to try and think of some quotes at the top of my head, and I literally don't know any quotes because my mind's gone completely blank, so that's not very helpful. I got told 2 quotes from 2 professionals, and that was, smile at the world and the world will smile too, or something along that line, Actually, let me find it because I want to find it now. I'm gonna find it for you. So the 2 quotes that I've been told by professionals are, smile at the world and don't let the world take your smile away. That was from one professional, and the next quote is pretty much the same, is, smile at the world and the world smiles too. That sends a message to your brain and changes how you're feeling. I thought those quotes are quite nice actually, because I don't know, I just think they're quite nice. But yeah, I don't really have any favourite quotes, but in the comments, leave some quotes that you guys like and let me know, because I literally don't know many quotes, and I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I probably do know quite a lot of quotes, but I just cannot think of any quotes at the moment. The next question is, what relaxes you? I think what relaxes me the most is music and watching some of my favourite TV programmes. Like at the moment I've currently got This Morning on because I love Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield. They're literally one of my favourite like duos. I don't know if you'd call them a duo because I don't know. But they're definitely my favourite, like one of my favourite celebrities. I love them both so much. But definitely music. Music always helps me because I feel like I can relate to the music and some songs. But yeah, that's mainly what relaxes me. The next question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how recovered are you? Oh god, I knew this question was going to pop up. If I'm being honest, I think I'm about a 4 out of 10. If I'm being honest, I literally am not really recovered at all. Yeah, I'm not really much recovered because I haven't really had much help. So yeah, I'm a 4 out of 10. The next question is, how to help with agitation? Oh, I get agitated quite a lot. I think to just, if you've got like some PRN, like diazepam, lorazepam and stuff like that, then I would definitely recommend taking that because that really calms you down. Like, but I don't always agree with just using medication because obviously like you can use like mindfulness and stuff along those lines. So like listening to music, doing some colouring, just do something which will keep you focused basically. Like, so maybe if you enjoy knitting, maybe do that because obviously that requires you to concentrate basically. So yeah, but if you're very agitated, I would suggest like taking some PRN if you've got PRN, or maybe, I don't know, it's quite tricky trying to deal with like agitation because I get agitated quite a bit and it's really hard for me to calm down. Maybe like listen to music quite loudly, but yeah, I tend to have a nap as well if I feel agitated because I try to sleep it off as well. But yeah. And the last question is, are you scared of getting sectioned again? Wow, this is a big question if I'm being completely honest. But like 2 weeks ago, I got threatened with a mental health act assessment because I got told that they think I need to go back to hospital. Luckily, I didn't have to have the mental health act assessment, and I've just been with Crisis for the last couple of weeks. So they've been around like every week, every few days to see me. They haven't been particularly helpful. Maybe it's because I haven't been engaging with them 100%. Like at first I was very, very open and honest with Crisis about how I'm feeling, but because I feel like they're just not listening to me and they're not taking me seriously, I think I've just closed myself off now for the rest of the sessions because I feel like they're not taking me seriously, so what's the point of being honest and open with them? So I think it's a bit of a tricky one really. Like I'm not scared of being sectioned again because I know it won't happen again. Because I don't need to be sectioned because I'm fine. So yeah, so basically, long story short, I'm not scared of being sectioned because I don't think I need to be sectioned. So yeah, that basically answers that question. But anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's taken me this long to be able to film a video again. I love filming for you guys, and today's made me realise that I have really missed filming for you guys and I need to get back into it. Like, I want to try and film a couple of videos a week at least. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but at the same time I love making content for you guys, because I feel bad because I know I've lost a couple of subscribers because I haven't been posting. So I feel like it's my own fault because I'm not making content for you guys. But I will get back into it for you. And yeah, and I just want to make a quick disclaimer that I am not a professional by any means. I am just going off by what I've been taught by professionals and general life lessons that I have learnt. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!